Today I'm going to show you 5 things I wish I knew before playing Balatro. So let's go. The first tip I want to give you today is when you are playing a game and you have your small blind, big blind, and your boss, don't be afraid to skip the blind. So after defeating the boss, we gain $25. That is more than what we can get by playing the hand. Now, there are some caveats to this. Sometimes you would like to go to the shop so you can see what's in the shop and buy some things. And also, you might have already got some things like a free uncommon joker that you want to collect. Or you want to level up some of your jokers that you have where you need to level them up by playing small hands, like the pence, for example. But in general, if you're on a small blind and there's a very big benefit to skipping it, don't be afraid to skip the blind. And it makes the game a lot quicker too. So you're not going to be trudging your way through the game. You're going to actually be playing it a lot quicker the more blinds you skip. The next tip I want to give you real quick is the options menu. The options menu or the settings are going to make a huge difference to your game. First of all, turn off screen shake. You can click reduce motion if you like. I prefer to have the slight bit of motion on, and your game speed on 2 if you have already played the game a little bit and you don't want the game to be super slow. You can change the CRT to make it easier to see, make it easier to look at, and you can turn CRT bloom off if you like. But one of my favorite options in the game is customizing your deck. Now, I'd recommend turning on high contrast cards so you can see the difference between clubs and spades, for example. But the more important thing for me is when you click on spades, you can have your Cyberpunk decal, you can have Shovel Knight, you can have Don't Starve, and you can have The Witcher, and you can also have default, obviously. So I have Cyberpunk for my spades. For my hearts, I have the Binding of Isaac, of course. For my clubs, I have Vampire Survivors, and for my diamonds, I have Stardew Valley. You can customize this according to what you prefer, and they are changing and adding new ones constantly. So keep an eye out for new ones like Into the Gungeon, which you might not have even known was there, and 1000x Resist. So another tip I have for you is when you have 0 discards left and you have 3 hands left, you're very close to the big blind, or you're very close to the blind at least, and you have 2 aces and 2 threes in your hand, but you don't have anything to match them up for a full house. Now, 2 aces and 2 threes would get me through this, honestly, but I just want to show you that you can use your hands as discards. So if you look at your deck, right, and you have 1 ace left in your deck, and you have 1 3 left in your deck, then you know there's 2 cards available in that deck that are going to make the full house for you. We're going to actually play this hand of nothing and see if we can get an ace or a 3, and then play that as a full house. So we didn't get it, and we also didn't get the straight, so we're going to actually do the same thing again with our second hand and play that, and we will hopefully get the card that we're looking for here, which we didn't. We were very unlucky, I have to say. So unfortunately now we're going to have to play our aces over 7s, which is technically a better hand than aces over 3s, but you know, at the end of the day, we would have liked an ace or a 3, and that should still be enough to get us through the big blind here. And there we go. We have finished it up. We took a risk, and we did. So my next tip is when you are going up against a boss and you have some downwards facing cards, you could take a peek at what they are. For example, you could use your Empress to do that. And let me show you exactly how you navigate this. So I have the first hand face down. I'm going to choose 2 cards that I want to turn into multi-cards with my Empress. And when I select this, these cards are going to flip up and I'm going to be able to see them. However, I play on 2 speed. So we want to press escape, settings. We want to change the game speed to 0.5. That way everything slows down massively. And I'm going to get to see what these 2 cards are. So I'm going to play this right now on these 2, and we are going to see that we have an ace and a queen, and there's a chance that this is a queen as well. So we're probably going to keep this card here. I'm just going to show you how I would play the rest of this hand normally. So we have 3 discards and we have 5 cards here that can be discarded. And we're hoping that this is a queen. We know what these 2 are. Discard these. And now we know that this card here is not a queen because of the cards around it. It's either an 8, a jack, a 9, or a 10. So we can probably discard this card. And it would be handy if we got another club. We have a king here. And we have 2 queens guaranteed with a wild card and another ace. So we have 2 aces, 2 queens. I think I'm going to go for a discard on these 3. And we're going to hope that we get another ace or another queen. But first, I'm going to just hit the settings and turn this back up to 2 speed. So let's discard these. And unfortunately, we didn't get what we want. We have 1 discard left. Now, this is actually a silly move for me, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use my last discard. Try and get that queen, just so I can show you guys exactly what we're doing here. 2 aces, 3 queens. Some of them are multi. And let's do this. So we're going to play the cards now. And hopefully we get enough to pass this boss. And now all of our cards are faced up for the rest of this hand. So the next tip I'm going to give you is blocking. And what I'm going to show you here is I am going to be allowed to choose up to 2 of 5 planet cards when I skip this blind. Okay. And I'm not going to get a 2 pair in here. And I'm not going to get a straight in here simply because I've already got these cards up here. And you could hold on to these cards for the entire run to stop them from coming up in these booster packs. You can do the exact same thing with tarot cards. If you have tarot cards that you don't really like, you can just leave them up here and then kind of like rotate them in and out depending on when you want to use them. So for example, say if you get a really good tarot card that gives you an extra tarot card, or you have a joke card that gives you an extra tarot card and you only have 2 spots, then you could use one of the crap ones and then activate the new tarot card. If it's good, use it, and then maybe try and fill back in that spot later on. So I'm going to skip this blind and we're going to get a celestial plaque, and we are not going to get a 2 pair or a straight in here. We're going to get a pair, flush, straight flush, full house, and 4 of a kind. And I usually play flushes and full houses in the first 4 empties. So we're going to use Jupiter. And we're going to use the Earth card. And that way, we're after upgrading 2 of our hands, pretty much. And we had no way of getting these 2. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any community notes. And I'll see you guys in the next one.